Yeah, we'll just, I guess, start with you. So I see the two links here. So trade number one looks like we got this
It was
side.
in the morning. And I forgot. I didn't even know there was news. Got lucky.
Okay.
I just seen the draw.
Yeah, sure. I think this was random. I think this was like a Trump news spike.
Oh,
So yeah, this was very, very lucky. And then as far as this trade goes, I don't know, obviously if you were on, but this entry down here was probably the best entry because we had the singular gap and we had the liquidity sweep. With you entering all the way up here, we don't have a liquidity sweep here. Delivery is not that great. We inverse that bullish gap to the downside, and the gap just doesn't appear to be as obvious as like this entry is down here. And this looks more to be like in maybe a 50% or premium of the range, and this is more in discount. So, and we took out this high here. So we were trying to target a high that just swept at another high. So this is not my favorite setup. Um, Normally I'm gonna be waiting for entries here and waiting for like just that more confluences in order to be, I guess, more convinced that this trade would work out. And then with this setup, did you just like sell once we sweep the high?
yeah.
Okay. And what convinced you to do that? Was it the draw
I just
liquidity
knew.
here, like the LRLR?
Oh, we had the opening time,
Mm-hmm.
the draw and liquidity, and then I knew that as soon as we swept that big wick in the first red candle, I just sold.
Okay. Just is this based off data, like this entry?
What do you mean by data?
I mean,
Oh, I
like,
just know. Typically, I know when we open,
mm-hmm,
it's like you know that's going to be a huge draw on liquidity, like 8, 9:30,
mm-hmm.
9:30 be opening candle. Like a lot of the times it'll sweep it. So I
Sure.
knew we were targeting.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
no,
there's
for
an
sure.
in person there.
Yeah, there was. Or it kind of looks like one, maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell the screenshot, but for me, whenever I'm looking to take like reversal setups after 9:30 open, I'm waiting for either a key reversal time to, like give us time as a confluence, or I mean, I like the idea of like waiting for the liquidity sweep before looking for that reversal, like that's in line. And I also like the idea of targeting sell side here because we have like all these stacked up lows for sure. So I think you have the right idea in mind of targeting this liquidity. But the only issue really for me is like there's just not enough confirmation that we're actually reversing. So you're just kind of like guessing. Um, what was your delivery here?
Uh, it's marked on the in the thing. You're talking about the entry price.
No,
Like
I'm talking about like what fair value, what
oh,
single
because
fair value can be entering off of, or yeah,
it swept that random news wick
yeah. See 415.
Wednesday.
If we look to the left here, I mean we're in this bearish gap, I guess, to the left. So we can say like higher time frame delivery is this 4 hour. And if we're looking at the higher time frame here, yeah, we came up here and even ran this high. So yeah, I see the idea. I see the idea for sure. Um,
Traded 3 contracts too on
nice
Apex. Yeah,
for sure.
I went and I just like as soon as it swept it first red candle, I was like, oh yeah,
For sure. Okay.
targeting the opening.
All right. Who would be next? Oh, any questions for me, by the way, Bucky?
You know what? I was this is the only like 3 hours I was able to trade all week.
Hmm.
How did the week go? I know the fucking thing just ran like a motherfucker. Did anybody cash in or what?
I mean, yeah, we just took like a lot of long setups. I caught a nice short on Thursday after we'd ran all day, and the reason why was because we put in enough bearish confluences for me to short at all time highs. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty much as long as all week. Um, okay, so nobody in group two. Then Mike. Mike, how was your trading week?
I took one trade, bro. I think these trading conditions, now that we're all at all-time highs, it's a little bit difficult
Mm-hmm.
for me because I've never traded at all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of learning how to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really see anything that I really liked until Thursday, and
Mm-hmm.
so I took this trade. Um, I think for half of the week I was m- more bearish because we hadn't hit all-time highs yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we had that big gap on the hourly after sweeping a lot of the hourly highs before we hit actual all-time highs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking for shorts half of the week, and we just didn't really get any great shorts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I didn't really like anything besides like a 2 minute on Wednesday that I didn't end up taking because the gap was just too small.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so it was okay. I wouldn't say it was a great week for me.
No, I understand. Your entry was on this candle or this inverse or which
Yeah,
one?
I was on that candle, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously, looking at this, it ended up losing, but I don't hate the trade. It's obviously, pretty good pattern trade. Um, I guess the only problem is like you're trying to target this high that just hit this inefficiency and had a pretty bearish reaction, and it's not really lined up with time
Hmm.
yet. Like normally, like we'll get the
Hmm.
reversals at 10, but I still think with how much momentum we had, the gap was singular. Like I don't think it's a bad attempt. I wouldn't be mad if like I'm not mad that I see this in your journal. Like this is a fine attempt. Um, and then what else here? We're looking at price. We see price reject this 15 minute, and we see us come down, right? But we run out a bunch of sell side in the process of doing that. But that is till
Yeah.
10 here. So we still had, I guess, was there like an unfilled gap below? Um, no, I mean we balanced that upper 4 hour. I mean, yeah, if we're just expecting price to be stupidly bullish, like that's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah.
Going into the day, I was really bullish, and I was just looking for a sweep of those prominent 15-minute lows, which we got,
Hmm.
and then yeah, we got the momentum off the 30 second, so I liked it.
Sure. I think I think it's hard sometimes because like we want to be looking at the lower time frame. Um, but if you like go to other time frames here, like 2 minute, like this just looks like a mess. So when we get that 30-second
Yeah,
inverse, it looks really good on the 30-second time frame because we're getting fair value gaps, we're getting whatever. But even this, like, we're inversing fair value gaps both ways. We
yeah,
have, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this like an A minus setup. Like it's not A plus, I think, because there's just not enough confluences and you're pretty high up in the range and the draw on liquidity isn't as good. But I think it's
right.
fine. Like I think it's fine that you took it. I'm just stuck. That's like
Yeah,
on the cusp of like barely good enough to take. For me.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, I did see that we were inversing fair value gaps both ways, and
Hmm.
so that was one of the reasons I wouldn't call it an A plus trade either.
Yeah.
I just think for me is because it was 4 days into the week. I hadn't taken a trade. I was getting a little bit impatient, I'll be
Mhm.
honest. And I think it wasn't bad enough. It wasn't bad enough for me not to take.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So
I guess we gotta try and maybe figure out maybe during IPGs of the week what caused you not to take any other setups this week because I feel like there was definitely stuff.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to because I was looking back on the charts too, and I'm still like I don't know if I would take any of these other long setups. I don't take pre-market setups
Oh,
either, so the only setups I take are after open,
oh,
New York
so
Open. So
I mean, maybe it really wasn't that crazy of a week. For me, it just felt like it because like it was just so easy to just long. But I understand like maybe there wasn't anything that good. I just remember that 30 seconds from yesterday being decent. Like that 1 30 second after the SMT was really good.
I didn't trade yesterday, um,
Okay.
but I do see the. Are you talking about the one at the 1 minute at 9:49? The one that left the relative equal lows?
Yeah.
But we had like all of those wicks above.
Yeah, this one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Lot of stacked up
I was
highs
gonna ask
here.
you about that one.
SMT. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
really good. Um,
So
s-
we so we had
Wednesday.
an SMT with the S there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, yeah, honestly, looking back at the trade recaps channel, I'm not really seeing anything that's like too crazy. So I think this week was fine that you ended up missing a lot of opportunity because none of the trades like Dodgy posted were like, oh my god, that was so light bulb. But there was that 1 minute on Monday that I think you definitely could have taken. I remember taking that trade, and I think that one's good simply because you're targeting a data wick there. So I'll show you what that looks like. Or maybe it
Yeah.
wasn't Monday, maybe it was Tuesday. But yeah, it was this. So we had this 1 minute gap here, and we had our data high here. Okay.
Yeah.
And price was just really bullish all week. And then we get this like really bullish momentum candle off open, inverse that gap that was holding price down, and it just at that point it seems pretty obvious that we'll go to this high. And I think you could even get good risk reward out of it. So something like this.
Yeah.
I think that's 1 to 1. Um, stop will be a hard stop. So even here, that's like assuming like the worst case scenario. We could probably even get a better trade than that. Um, because who knows where price will close here. And if we just close like below the 30 second of the 1 minute there, like, that's only a 25 point stop. So like that was a good
Yeah.
trade.
Right.
And then I don't know. Let's see what else. I think that was it.
That's what I was kind of looking for on Tuesday. I just wanted us to sweep a little bit more liquidity because we did leave relative equal lows. But and then like the candle was just so fat. Like
Yeah.
if the candle was a little bit smaller,
Mhm.
then I would have considered it for sure.
Yeah.
But
I think
yeah.
I think something that'll help is like, and this helped me, is abandoning all rules regarding entry model when it comes to data wicks because they're just the
Okay.
most important thing. And if you ever see momentum towards it, it's probably gonna hit on that with price leg. So
Okay.
when I see price come down here and run this low, like yeah, we still have these lows, whatever. But we took out the major like data wick here, right? The data wick low. And we had an immediate reaction to it where we inverse these gaps, all right? So this is like price showing you, okay, I'm willing to inverse bearish gaps here now. I'm willing to get like a
Mhm.
CISD. Let me put in this order block real quick, and then on the next candle we get the order block, we get the CISD, we get the inverse, we get the break of structure, and then we have good momentum. And all those
Mhm.
confluences line up on the exact same candle. That's why, in my opinion, it's like worth it to take, even though we have like the quote unquote relative equal lows, and even though it's a big momentum candle, that's actually what you want. If you have a big momentum candle, it's going towards the data, like it's a good entry. It'll probably work. So
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
all right. Anyone else have anything? I know it's just the four of us here, but
I don't know where Luca is reliable, but
uh
do you think you could review his trades as well? I think he would appreciate it.
yeah, sure.
I don't even know if he took any trades this week.
I see nothing.
Okay, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't take a trade.
I had 410. That was last week, right? And that says this
Yeah, I
content's no
believe
longer
so.
available.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, no, I'm going through the process right now of requesting a Tradeify payout. I've never gotten one with them before. I started trading with them 2 weeks ago. And so I'm just trying to do the RiseWorks thing. And I selected the business option for that. And it made me jump through like 9 million different hoops, and it's like taking longer to verify. So I would just do individual and just have it go to your business bank account. I don't know why I did business, but yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Good to know for when I go through that process as well.
yeah. I think it'll be fine though. I mean, it's just the weekend, right? Like everyone's, probably not working. Like most banks don't work on the weekend, so I'll probably have to wait till Monday for it to be sent. But they've already approved it, which is nice. So I know that like the funds are already removed from the account and everything.
I heard that Tradeify is pretty fast with their payouts too.
Yeah,
They usually issue them pretty quickly.
I think it's just like the first time, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got nothing. I got nothing else besides that.
Um, I if anyone else has questions, take up all the time. But I do have another question.
I think you're good, man.
Okay. How would you? I mean, like, I'm having trouble navigating these conditions because we're at all-time highs now. So, like, what advice would you have on trading at this point? Like, in terms of trading conditions, would you look for shorts?
So I
Like,
really,
would you be more careful?
I'll show you kind of the trade that I took that was a short on, I believe it was Thursday. And you tell me kind of your thoughts on it, and I'll kind of
Okay.
explain. So we took so we had this short triggered here, right? If we look to the left, we had these relative equal highs on the daily still intact. The reason why I was interested in the short at all to begin with is because we got this 15-minute CISC to the downside. Okay, after we ran out high a day here, we had this big V shape. Normally, you don't want to, fade a V shape in price. And then we also had this data low here, news low at lunch low, and then we had relative equal lows at that low. And then one thing that I was paying attention to all session was how price continued to respect bearish PD arrays. We get this initial price leg down, we respect the gap. Initial price leg down, respect the gap. Get this move down, put in this 1 minute last gap in the leg. And price comes up. And the big thing that I said all PM was, okay, if we inverse every time frame here to the upside, I'll become bullish. But if we hold even one, I'll still be bearish. We hold the 1 minute, we get the bearish CISD on the lower time frame here. We get this inverse, we get this death candle. We then get this whole move lower. And then, and this was a big one at the time, we had, what was it? We had this 5 minute gap here. Okay, and this was the gap that sent price higher, so this was significant to me, and this was going to be the thing that I knew needed to break in order to confirm these lows being ran. So what I said in the moment was, okay, we kind of missed our opportunity to take a short to the gap because the entry was invalid here on this 1 minute candle, and I think there was like a 2 minute or something. Yeah, it was like a 2 minute that we could close in time or whatever. So I said, I'm gonna take the 5 minute if we get it, but I'm gonna try and find a way to tighten up our risk. So what I did is I took this 30-second inverse here because not necessarily as like the entry, but just as an opportunity to find a way to like get good risk management. So what I did, we got this candle close. I entered the 30-second short with a hard stop at this wick high, trying to target these lows to go break even, and then ultimately target lower. And we were able to hold the position to there. But this is the only opportunity that I saw all week to short during all-time highs because we had enough bearish confluences and the draw on liquidity was very good to sell side. We have a data wick and a relative equal low. So this is like basically as strong of a trade as you're gonna need. We have every time frame inversed. We have a significant gap inverse. We have clear order flow being bearish, and we have an obvious draw on liquidity. That's the only time you can short all-time highs. If you don't have all those things, I feel like you can. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. It does make sense, yeah.
Otherwise, you can pretty much just take whatever long as it's in discount and just assume that we had higher. Basically, the way that you play all-time highs is you hope that overnight generates liquidity, specifically buy-side liquidity. Whether we have London high or Asia high or whatever. You wait for price to manipulate the low at 9:30, and you just try and catch the Judas swing. And if you're able to do that a couple times a week in all-time highs conditions, you're in good shape. If it doesn't present like that, and we run out buy side immediately at the start of the day, you're probably not going to get a trade.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then what I start doing when we're at all-time highs is I start using standard deviation projections. So let me see if it's possible from yesterday. Kinda, not really, because we'd already ran out. Buy side, like I said, but maybe there's something in the 1 minute here. Now let's find a better day. Let's just start with Monday and see if we can find something in there. All right, let's say I'm looking to trade this and I see price puts in this 2 minute manipulation like here, and we just start to fly, and it looks like we'll get the CISD anyway, right, on this candle. What I'll start doing is I'll start marking out, these fib projections using basically the line chart, right? But it's just looking at like the candle body high and low. So you start at like the first of the last bearish price leg, that first candle body high, and then run that down to the candle body low of the last price leg before the up move. And then you could start projecting out liquidity levels from there. Like specifically, like this is really good whenever you can like line up like a -1 or -2 or -2.5 with a liquidity level. That's when this is really strong. And then usually you'll see pivots at around these levels. So like this one's actually really convenient that it worked out. But we have -1 that kind of lines up with this high. So we would expect this to get ran when this starts to get momentum through it. And then we would expect to see like a reversal at -2. If we kind of push past -2, we see it go to 2.5. And then at that point, we would expect a reversal to most likely 50%, which we get there. And then if price wants to continue higher, obviously, another move past that. But yeah, this is how you can use kind of fibs to project out where price is going to go next without any liquidity levels at all-time highs. Obviously, it's unexplored territory. We don't know how high price is going to go, but this can kind of give you like some idea, some roadmap. So
yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Rather than just blindly holding or blindly placing a target.
Yeah.
got it.
And I mean, this is something that ICT uses, so it's not like I'm just pulling this out of thin air. You know, this is something that's actually, he does. He uses it more with the Wix though, and my friend who has been doing this for a while using standard deviations finds that the Wicks aren't as consistent as the bodies. Here though, it's still pretty good. You can see we run up to -2 in reverse, so it's
Mhm.
really just your preference. Whatever you end up clicking it on and liking more Wicks or bodies, you know. But yeah.
Okay, I hear you.
Reliable.
Something I definitely need a back test.
Yeah. What's up, man?
So for all-time highs, would you just really go for like a 1-to-1 RR and not really, and then just hold a runner, or what would your like risk to reward be?
Yeah, I mean, if there's obvious overnight liquidity, I'll hold to that. But if it's,
Mhm.
you know, kind of doesn't make sense to hold for larger targets because we're kind of just range bound, then yeah, you can just go 1-to-1 and take that and call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah, Dodgy will definitely give you a better, um, idea of what you should be doing probably Monday because he's pretty good about trading all-time highs, and I think this is now my third time trading all-time highs. So, anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. You guys have a good weekend. I'll start up IFGs of the week and catch you all Monday.
Cool. Thanks, Reliable.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you.